Hello, good morning. This is your pal Arnold, and Orpheus Plays. No, don't worry, it's not Arnold, really. I know you think it is because I'm so great at doing that voice. I think everyone that does the Arnold Schwarzenegger voice is just kind of doing a parody of him. Good morning. I'm Detective John Kimball. I'm a cop, you idiot. That kind of thing. So, I just figured we'd beat some stuff up today. It is a good day for a beatdown, and I'm feeling a little randy, so I want to get in there and rip some skulls off. We're playing survival mode here in Blade and Sorcery. I forget to mention that this is Blade and Sorcery : Nomad. Is it a colon? Semicolon? It's a colon. Nomad. Yeah, so this is that. It's the VR version, in case you're like, wow, this game from 2018 looks really good. No, it's the VR version. So, relax. We'll start off with our customary slow-mo kill. Make you feel a little bit inadequate for a moment. Come on. Let's get that slow-mo humiliation going. Oh, so sad. And slit. And little extra one for pain. So hope you're doing well wherever you are right now. It is it's a good day for killing. It's weird because I never know where people are watching this, right? I know the demographics show me that there's certain people that watch it in certain places, but where are you? Leave a comment below. Where are you in the world? And don't get all existential and stuff on me. Like, I'm in a state of being with my mind, man. Look, if you're going to do that stuff, wait until 420 to get that crazy. Don't worry, though. We are very herbally friendly on this channel. Occasionally, I might even talk about it. I used to be someone who educated others on the proper use and administration of cannabis. Yes, the C word. Hopefully that doesn't immediately flag this video, because maybe I'll go back in the editing and have it with some weird sound effect like cannabis. Anyway, yeah. So I used to do that for a living. Maybe I'll talk about that at some point. That was an interesting half a decade of my life. One for you. Yeah, come on. Come here. I want to give you a kiss with my sword. What? Oh, you killed my people. You took my father's sword. Yeah. I've mentioned this before. If you haven't gone and watched the Conan movies, you are missing out, bro. That's like what we used to call high adventure. It was a term back in the day for, like, Indiana Jones is high adventure because you get to travel and get into mischief and stuff. Well, Conan the Barbarian used to be a book at first, a book series, and then it was a comic book, and then it was a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And boy, that first movie, Conan the Barbarian, go watch it. It is probably one of the biggest meme-making movies that has existed, or at least one of the granddaddies of them. Because, man, basically everything in that movie you can quote, and it just feels awesome. What is best in life? To see your enemies driven before you. To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of their women. And it's like, wow. It's just brutal. So there's someone at the front door. I don't even care. You can wait. I'm here playing Blade and Sorcery with my friends here. Yeah, so that movie's amazing. It's like the story of one kid who gets kidnapped, and then his entire existence comes down to finding the guy who did it. But along the way, he's apparently become an Olympic bodybuilder who knows Japanese swordsmanship. Yes, it's a little detail that you might miss in that movie occasionally. But it is very influential on the style that I have with my weapons. So everyone, when they do a little bit of weapons training, enough to be not dangerous anymore. Those of you who do any sort of training like that know what I'm saying. Everyone can just pick up a sword and do something with it. Everyone can just pick up a knife and, you know, And yeah, you can do some damage, all right? But you're dangerous at that point, because not only are you going to probably cut yourself, but you're going to probably accidentally stab someone else. Boy, if you haven't seen the fail videos of people with swords, oh God. The horrible things that confident mall ninjas think that they can do with a sword. Yeah, hey, hold that soda can between your hands and I'll take the sword and I'll cut it in half. Yeah, cut to 30 seconds later where they're scooping that guy's thumb up off the floor so they can go to the emergency room. Have it sewn back on. But, you know, you learn just enough to not be dangerous anymore. And that's when you start developing a little bit of a style, right? Because up until that point, you're doing a lot of things just like patterns. Getting your muscle memory used to doing certain things, all right? Once you do that, you start subconsciously developing a style that you're going to use. And mine has always been like the Conan the Barbarian style. I like the brute force that you can use, but with finesse, right? So a sword is basically just a long razor blade, all right? Well, if you take a razor blade and you just go like this, right? You just go like that. It's not going to do as much as if you draw it across, right? When you draw that blade, it actually takes the entire surface of the blade and turns it into that razor, right? So when you draw it back, that's what causes the most damage, which is... Okay, we're going to get nerd talk here about swords. I apologize if you're someone who thinks that the katana is the greatest sword ever made. You're partially right, but way wrong at the same time. Oh, it's the curve of the blade makes it better for all sorts of things. All right, well, the curve of the blade on that or on a sword like a scimitar allows you to have a greater draw damage, all right? So when it's a slashing weapon, you want to be able to get the most out of that. Stop it! I'm talking here. You want to be able to get the most out of that experience. So you can do that with a regular blade. You just have to be able to bring it back a little bit. Well, with a katana or a scimitar, you have a shorter way to travel. There's a lot of ways to look at this. And it's very controversial amongst the sword community. Believe it or not, oh, there's controversy. Is the katana any good? Well, it was folded 1,000 times. Okay. Let's get rid of that little thing right away. Folded steel is done to get rid of impurities and a little bit of introduction of other materials like carbon or like a softer iron that you want to put into it. So when you fold that blade, you're getting rid of impurities. So you're folding it, you're smacking it with a hammer. Those impurities called slag come out of it. You brush that away. You keep smacking at it. You put it back in the forge. And eventually you have good steel. Now, people think the kind of steel that a Japanese sword comes from, where you see that big bloom that they do once a year or whatever, and they've got the guys that take it out of the natural furnace, and everyone oohs and ahs, and they sit and they smack it, and they get this little ingot of pure Japanese steel from the hills. And then they fold it 1,000 times because it's full of a whole bunch of impurities, and it's actually a little weaker than a forged, like, castle sword. Or even one that's cast, like cast iron or cast steel. Anyway, yeah. So back to what I was talking about. Now that we've thoroughly offended all the katana people, don't at me in the comments. Everyone has their own opinion. Everyone has their own historical stuff that they'll try to cite. I get you. I feel you, bro. But developing a style with a sword comes after you've been able to properly learn the techniques. Now, I addressed in another video whether I'm a professionally trained weapon person. Let me answer it better this way. I was trained in a lot of stuff, but it was like 30 years ago. Okay? So I also got certified in scuba diving back then. Do you think that I'm going to go scuba diving right now without a little bit of a refresher course? Yeah, no, I will. Probably, yeah, I don't feel like drowning, so I'm not going to go scuba diving. Same way, I don't want to, hurt myself, so it's not like I'm going to go down to the local park with a sword and like, I'll do my katas and everything. No. So, yeah, the Arnold movies gave a lot of influence to how I actually... Here, let's no. Wow, you got tag teamed by both your friends there, Buck. Let's just beat him up with this real quick. Oh, bitch slap. Take that. Daddy's coming for you. Oh, cosmic uppercut. What else is hitting me? You? But yeah. Developing a style is good, though. Unless you're a mall ninja. Now, I know you're familiar with at least the concept of the mall ninja, which is like you got these weapons with all the like spikes and ridges and like cool hand guards that have like razor blades all over them and stuff. Like, yeah, that's not as helpful as you think in fighting. You're gonna end up hurting yourself a lot more than you're gonna hurt the other person. I also like the colored blades, like the rainbow colored Call of Duty knives and stuff. Those are funny. Look. Oh no. Something has gone terribly wrong. Let's take advantage of this situation. Here. See if I can use him as a spinning top of doom. Oh, he wants to. He wants to. Take that. A little bit of that. Yeah, the mall ninjas, those guys that have like the katanas that you got at like a flea market. There's always that guy that's got that trailer full of knives and axes and like probably has a gauntlet or two. He definitely has tasers, right? So like he'll be walking through the flea market and hear over in the side, and of course it's that dickhead demonstrating his taser. Yeah, most of the stuff that guy sells would qualify as mall ninja because you think that you're a ninja because you own a katana. Oh no, you guys, you're getting the gravity balls. Both of you. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Some for you. Yeah, the mall ninja is a funny creature. Usually they're the ones that have the swords hanging up in their apartment. Now, don't get me wrong. I have swords in my house. They're ones that I've collected over the years, and yes, I do have a katana. I bought mine from Japan. And it cost me more than $129.99 out of a sword catalog that you get that also has survival gear and water filters and stuff in it. Yeah, that's not where you want to get your weapons. If you want to use something, make sure that it's what they call battle ready. But yes, I have swords in my house. Do I have them hung up? Not since I was a little younger. But within the last 15 years, yes, I had a sword hung up, at least in my home. But the mall ninja has them out because they're displaying all their weaponry to the world. These are my weapons in case of the zombie apocalypse. Like, congratulations. Until then, you look like a weirdo. Like, look, if I offend people that have the swords and stuff up in their apartment, you're probably saying to yourself right now, no, not me. And you're probably right. Okay, you're probably right. If you're the kind of person that's seeking out this kind of content because you like swordplay or whatever, you're probably not one of those douches who's got them hanging up in your apartment. Because right now, if you were, you'd be busy training with your mall ninja weapons. Instead of watching YouTube videos, you'd be out there like Star Wars kid. But yeah, I used to have swords hung up. And look, before we get any further, I will address this. I was a genuine mall ninja myself back in the days when I was actually taking the weapons training. To the point where I had a ninja outfit. I am ashamed to say that, but I did. look, in the late 80s and early 90s, the ninja thing was all the rage, right? Movies like Enter the Ninja were there with Sho Kusuji, which I think I'm completely pronouncing that wrong. But ninja movies were all the rage. They were the hot thing to have, and so I ordered a ninja costume from a catalog. Yeah, it's embarrassing now. I used to like put it on and I'd go out at night and like din 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 sneak around. I had like my grappling hook and my katana. Actually, no, it was my ninja toe on my back, the straight sword with the square tsuba on it and stuff. Oh, I was so cool. And then one of the people in the neighborhood saw me and they called the cops. And that was embarrassing to try to explain. No, officer, I'm really not a cat burglar or anything. I'm a ninja? I'm practicing to be a ninja, sir. You have no idea the rigors of this modern world, and I must prepare myself for the evil. So he's like, why are you wearing the ninja outfit? It's like, are you being like a peeping Tom or something? No, I guess I'm just role-playing? I don't know. We didn't really have that concept back there. Back then, the concept of role-playing meant you played D&D. It didn't mean that you cosplayed, you know. Ooh, let's get that back. Thank you. Returned. And India. Thank you for giving me that back. I appreciate it. Your contribution is duly noted and appreciated. But yeah, being a mall ninja, always embarrassing. But look, to be fair, all right? To be fair, back then, we didn't have shit like the internet, all right? So when we wanted entertainment, we had to, like, you know, come up with it. Bro, he was doing this weird dancey thing. So we wanted entertainment. We had to come up with it. Like, if I wanted to write a paper, I had to go to the library and spend all afternoon there looking up things on microfiche. Yeah, now it's like, oh, let me find out about Joan of Arc. Tappy tip tap tap tap. Oh, everything I need to know. These days, look, if you don't know about these, I'm sorry. But these days, there are websites that you can go and just put a sentence in. So let's say, you know, what was the impact of butter on the price of beef in the 1970s, right? Something that's completely obscure. Or like, you know, what are the themes in To Kill a Mockingbird that pertain to the inner workings of blah, 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 whatever, okay? Something that you're going to look at and you're going to look at your teacher and be like, really? You want me to get that out of this boring-ass story? Okay. So now you can go type that sentence into this website and it'll type the damn paper for you. Like you can, it'll say, no, this is probably a little too plagiarizing. Would you like to rephrase a couple of these things? Do you want us to rephrase it for you? Do you need references? we can do professional references for you, scientific references, academia. I tried this the other day and I was just kind of messing around with it and I'm like, this thing writes better papers than I did when I was in college. I'm like, good God. So be careful of that stuff out there. But when I was a kid, we didn't have that. I mean, that was like the worst nightmare scenario that any teacher could have faced back then. Like all my papers. So now they've got these things that schools use. They run your paper through a plagiarism check thing. Okay. So they copy paste it into there and it says, well, there's a similarity score of 38% to other things that are on the internet. Now that can mean, hold on. I need my lightning staff of power. Ha! Take that. Also works as a bludgeoning weapon. But yeah, so they put it in like they'll copy paste it and they're like, oh, your similarity score is whatever. Ooh, that's gotta suck. You shall not pass. And so if your similarity score is disassemble, if it's too high, then they know that you copied the paper from somewhere. Well, maybe that's just because you quoted a bunch. But if you're quoting so much that it's coming up as like 50% of your paper, come on. But these new websites, completely get around that. Now, I'm not going to tell you what the website is, because if you're a student, I don't want you, faking like you're doing things. But, man, compared to what I had to do back then, like sit in one of those meeting rooms in a library, surrounded by, like, Xerox photocopied papers, and, like, journals and magazines and newspapers, like... And now all you gotta do is Wikipedia that shit. Although, do you guys trust Wikipedia? I don't know if I do. Wikipedia feels a little slimy to me. Like, I know it's crowdsourced intelligence, right? Ooh. I know it's crowdsourced intelligence. Did you just hit that? But it also can be, like, screwed with. Right? So you say, well, it's self-regulating. So there are people that go on there as moderators. If they see something silly, they'll remove it or revert it. Well, hey, what if you're doing a paper on something, and wow, right at the moment that you're doing that paper, someone decides that it would be funny to, I don't know, change the address of a certain event to like 123 Dickhead Way or something, and you're not even looking, you just copy paste that in, right? Well, what if you're in between edits when you do your research? What if something's completely wrong? Do people still use that? Because look, we had encyclopedias, like a whole set, like 50 some odd books, and the great thing about encyclopedias back then, you had to keep buying them in order to keep things updated. Otherwise, you look up like space travel, and they're like the latest endeavor of the Apollo mission. Like, no, wait a minute. All right, we're gonna do one more. Wow, we're gonna do one more round here. Then I'll let you go for the day. We'll be back with another episode. But let's get let's get some pain going on here. Can I do this? Oh, it disappeared. Dun 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 dun. Maybe back to that. Yes, most of my style is influenced by Conan the Barbarian. It's funny, like, you wonder, does Orpheus only talk like this for his videos? No. You can ask Mrs. Orpheus. I talk like this all the time, and there are days when she's like, "Could you just please not? Could you stop talking like Arnold Schwarzenegger just for a little while so I can get my work done?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you're bloody right. I'll stop talking like that stupid Austrian." She's like, "No, don't go to that." I have a lot of voices that are... Oh no, she tripped over him and broke her neck. Oh, God. But yeah, I do a lot of voices, mostly because I'm crazy. They keep me company when I'm alone. Now you're wondering, he might be serious. This is YouTube, after all. A lot of people have channels. Oh, right in the liver. Ha! No, it does have to do partially with that, though. You ready for the lonely, sad story? It's not going to be a story. It's just going to be a lonely, sad situation. The reason why I do all these voices, like I can do Bullwinkle the Moose, excuse me, right, is because I was alone a lot as a child. A lot of what I do in my entertainment kind of capability, because... there's pain in there, man. You want to see the funniest comedians in the world, find the ones that have been completely screwed with in their lives. The ones that have, like, had their car get stolen 50 times, their grandma got hit by a bus that was full of nuns, stuff like that. They were, like, horribly abused by their 16 fathers and 8 mothers because they came from some weird culty compound or something. Those are going to be the funniest comedians you've ever even seen, because pain means haha. It's like fat means flavor in cooking, right? Pain, if you have a kind of a messed up past, you're able to laugh at more things because that's the, like, the defense mechanism that you have. Oh no. Oh boy. She knew she was on camera. She's like, I take up as much screen time as I can. But yeah, no. Pain usually means funny. Translates to it later. So, hey, I know a lot of people in life have like some genuine struggles, right? There's a lot of tough stuff that's going on these days, especially. And if you're someone that's like you're feeling that overwhelmed bit, and you're feeling like everything is really messed up, remember that kind of experience. It makes you more wise. It doesn't make you more experienced. It gives you wisdom because it lets you learn your boundaries. It lets you learn everything about yourself. But at the same time, it'll help you maybe be one of the funnier people in life later on. Huh? It's a good trade-off. Maybe not right now, but it is a good trade-off. All right, that's all I'm doing today. I'm done. Stick a fork in me. We'll see you next time here on Orpheus Plays, another edition of Blade and Sorcery. Hope you're having a good one. See you.